black people, bitch.
Hello, Globe, and welcome to the first episode of Who TF Is. I am Toxic, your host, your guide, your whatever the fuck. And today I am joined with KHuck. Hi.
Hi, Toxic. How are you?
I'm quite swell. How are you on this Black Friday? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
today?
it's it's Black Friday. Yep.
Now, just because I want to give a little context, like off the start,
hmm
of how or what who TF is. It's actually not my idea, but I kind of want to not rip it off, but I kind of want to borrow it from a different creator. Do you know who RGT is? Probably.
RGT 85.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
so he has a second channel where he does these interviews with people he knows and he's acquainted with. And he'll occasionally just throw a completely random curveball at them, right? And he'll do regular questions too, but he'll just throw in random little sprinkles of whatever. And I just like the type of interviews he does, and they're really fun to watch. Okay, you ever done any drugs?
Have they ever done any drugs?
Yeah, a little innocent KHuck. You ever done any drugs?
Yes, I actually, as a matter of fact, I have.
Oh,
I've done weed on occasion, but not consistently. What else have I done? Like That's really been about it. I mean, I did prescription drug wise. I did Adderall there for a little while, but that's been really about it, honestly. I haven't done any hardcore drugs or anything else like that. No.
that's good.
hmm
Hmm. Maybe I'll throw some more little curveballs in there to see if we can get through the little innocent mask of KHuck and see who the
I'm not
real.
not
Hmm.
innocent in any way, shape, or form. No.
Hmm.
But okay.
All right, let's get to the real questions. What made you start watching YouTube?
Hmm. Good question. Well, I well, I started watching YouTube around 2012. I used to watch a lot of the Let's Play creators like Tobuscus, Game Grumps. I did watch some Markiplier on occasion, but not as much as what I did with those two, with Tobuscus and Game Grumps. Those were my main two for quite a while, actually, and probably a few smattering of others too. I can't think of their names right now, but uh, then I found a few other creators and moved over from that. I still watch those on occasion, just not as much as I used to. But then slowly but surely, I moved my way over to the commentary community around. Oh, I think it was around 2020 was when I really started watching a lot more. Like I would watch Keemstar on occasion. That's how I found him through the I think his name is Red Kiwis when he
Yeah.
was he's a Minecrafter or Minecraft player, I guess. And he got accused of getting or talking sexually with what was deemed to be a 14-year-old, and then he
Mhm.
tried to say that it was her fault for acting like she was 17, which was absolutely 100%
Oh,
cringe. Um, yeah, so I found that out. I found Keemstar through that, and then that led to Review Tech USA. I still watch Review Tech USA. I love him. And
okay.
then
One second. All right,
Mhm.
because I've heard you say this, and it's piqued my interest too. Because I'm always interested on people who watch him, because I've watched him specifically off and on since 2013, right? Do you think it's weird, the little bits he does with chickens and birds and shit? Have you noticed?
No, yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, whenever I go into, I call him the bird father. That's what I call him. Um, I truthfully, yes and no, but that's just his shtick, and that's what I've gotten used to, and that's what I've gotten. It's to me, yes. With other, if it were anybody else doing it, then yeah, I might be a little concerned. But it's Rich.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, he's pretty witty.
It's the best way that I can describe it. It's just Rich, and he turned it into his his empire, if you will, I guess, to a certain degree. And yes, to some people who don't know him or haven't watched him long enough are going to be like, what the hell is this man doing? And of course, rightfully so. But if you've watched Rich long enough and get to know him as a creator and see what he's all about, then you're like, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little. I thought it was a little off-putting because like he started doing it, it's like, all right, that's kind of funny, and then he just like dove straight into it. It's like, oh, all right, we're doing this now, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's my husband was actually the one to introduce me to him. It was like around like 2019, 2020, around then when I really started watching a lot of those different creators. And I've loved him ever since. I think he's great. Yes, is he a bit crazy and is he, a bit weird at times? Yes, but then again, I've watched him for literally like going on 4 years now, so I'm just used to it.
Yeah,
It's part of it. Also, it delves into kind of like my sense of humor too, and my husband's and I sense of humor to a certain degree. So there's that.
what do you think about the whole drama with him and Boogie?
Oh God, Boogie. Oh good Lord, Boogie. Um, I think that Boogie going on that stream was so it. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say to that. Um. I didn't even know about it until after the fact, until like it was all said and done. I think that Boogie is just very strange man. I think that he's very sad. I've said this before about him. When him and Wings were going to were boxing and all that, I was hoping from what it looked like that they both were gonna, try to learn from their localness and try to, get their shit together. But then again, people love it when you don't get your shit together, depending on who the creator is. And in this case, some people do like that Boogie doesn't have his shit together, but are rooting for Wings because Wings seems to have his shit together.
Yeah,
It's insane. But me personally, I think that Boogie going on Rich's stream, I legitly think that Boogie did not expect for any of the backlash. I legit think that. And the reason why, Boogie and Rich are friends, are good friends. They've done stuff together before. Boogie has been on Rich's stream quite a few times. They've actually done like interviews and stuff like that. And there was one stream that Boogie was on, not just with Rich, but with another content creator who I watch sometime. His name is Camelot331.
oh yeah, the GameStop guy.
Yeah, the GameStop guy, yeah. They all did a stream together. They've all talked before or on occasion. They've known each other for years and years and years at this point. So Boogie going on his stream, truthfully, wasn't anything out of the ordinary, and I legitly think that Boogie did not think anything of it. Because he was just going on a stream with an old friend. That's how he looked at it.
Yeah,
And
I could believe that.
yeah,
That makes
he was
sense.
yeah, because like I said, him and Rich have known each other now for I don't know exactly for how long, but I know it's been a long time. And I legitly think that he did not expect for any of that. The aftermath of what happened. Oh my God.
Yeah, I kind of like what like Review Tech USA started doing with it though. He was because I know I've never really listened to him, but I know he makes music. Um, and he was like, "I'm manifesting my powers for Keemstar and like making it to this beat." And I was like, "That's okay."
That's
It's so funny.
Yes, that is 100% something that Ridge would do
Yeah.
because he made a video like shortly after of the 45 minutes or so of when Boogie was on and the Muda came on. He made a video of it, and at the intro of the video, he promoted Locale, and he like Keemstar is making me do this, and if I don't do it, he'll cry, and then his beard will rolling on the desk and the desk will be a mess and the chickens will do this, and it was hilarious. It was just like a whole sequence of events that
Yeah.
would have happened had he not read out a promo for the locale. It was great. It was I'll have to find that and watch it and send it to you, but it was hilarious.
Yeah. He's just been one of those creators that like outside of the whole chicken thing because it like threw me off for a little bit. I've just always gone back to and watched a bunch of stuff from.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think that he's genuinely I like Rich, and not a lot of people do, just based upon like his recent stuff. Like got into it with a couple of different creators, but then again, shit like that happened. So I like him though. I've always liked him.
I wonder. I know, like, I don't really want to go too much into it because it's like a really shitty situation, right? But
Mhm.
I know him and the quartering were supposed to box, right? But stuff happened with his daughter and she got really
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
is there like was there ever any updates on her and like?
Oh yeah, no, she's okay.
Okay.
She unfortunately, I can't remember the name of it, but he came out a couple months ago, and made a stream about it like shortly after he took his breaks and after everything first hit. Um, she got diagnosed with some type of disease. And so, but the last that I heard, she was going to have some issues with her left eye, I think,
Oh,
to
that's
where
that's strange.
to where she was not going to either be able to see out of it completely or very, very little. But her right eye, it affected her eye somehow, both of her eyes, somehow, some way it did. Um, and gosh, I wish I could remember the name of what she got diagnosed with, but it was some type of rare, uh, autoimmune thing. I guess it was from a reaction to antibiotics
Oh shit.
that she was on antibiotics for an ear infection. I think I remember him saying, and she had some type of really weird like skin reaction to it, and it just caused it was all bad. And later on, 10, that was the name of the disease. 10, have you ever heard of
Oh,
that
I've
before?
heard of it. Yeah, I remember. I don't really know too many details, but I remember like the name being thrown around.
Yeah, she got diagnosed with 10, and it affected her eyes, and coincidentally enough, and so I think from what I last heard, and again it's been a while, either like I said, she either can't see or will not be able to she will not be able to see or will be very, very little vision in her left eye, but her right eye is okay. She can see somewhat out of it better than her left, but that was the last that I heard. Isn't that
Shit,
crazy?
that is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so, but yeah, but they're apparently going to be doing it next year sometime still, supposedly. We'll see.
nice. I think yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because Keemstar wanted to do it in June, but there was just with everything that was going on with his daughter, Rich was like, "Nope, can't do it. Nope, mm-mm." So they are supposedly going to move it to sometime next year. We'll see though.
All right. Sorry for the audience. Whenever I hear someone that like likes an old YouTuber I've been watching for years, I gotta like dive into that. Uh,
Oh, it's okay. All good.
what made you start making content?
Ooh, good question. Well, back in oh god, let's see here. This was when was this? So most of 2021 was a bit of a blur. Um, to a certain degree. In 2021, in February of 2021, I found out, unfortunately, that I had cancer.
Oh,
Um, yeah, that was fun. Um, well, actually, it was that later on. That's when I found out that I had cancer. There was a whole thing that got involved with it. But in 2021, in April of 2021, I had surgery to remove two cysts that were on my ovaries, and later tested to show that they were cancerous. Um, and then in I had the history. Then my husband and I tried to see what we could do as far as like being able to have another child or something, because at that point we had been trying a little bit here and there to try to get pregnant again. We already have one. We
yeah.
have one daughter, and who we've all known, who most of the people know as Baby Huck. Well, there is a Baby Huck, but you know, we were trying to see what we could do to have another child, and then I got this diagnosis. So, but once they removed everything, or once they removed the tumors and stuff, the doctors had told me that, it could be possible for me to have another one. It's just that the chances will obviously be slim, but we can see what we can do. So my husband and I gave it a few extra months just to see what would happen, if it would happen naturally or not, and it never did. So in February of 2022, we opted to see what we went back to the doctor just to see what my options could be. And that's when she had told me that that's when she had checked me out and said, well, we gave it the few extra months that you wanted to have done, but, unfortunately, it's looking like it's not going to happen naturally, so we can try in vitro, we can do this, we can do that. And my husband and I both were just like, you know what? I don't know if I can handle the heartbreak with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in vitro in and of itself is over 20 grand, if not more.
Jesus.
So, yeah, and there was just no way that we were not going to go possibly bankrupt over a maybe. You know what I mean? Like, there was just no way. And throughout that time, when I was going through everything and found out that, it was cancer, I did use YouTube as a coping mechanism, if you will. Kind of pulled a Matt Pitt. I used it as a distraction.
Yeah.
But I wasn't making content though, not at that point. I was just watching other people's dramas and shit and just using that as a distraction. But so one thing led to another, and then in February of 2022, like I said, we opted to talk to my doctor, and that's when she told us that she, believes that it would be best for me just to have a hysterectomy to avoid any further issues. And so, yeah. So in May of 2022 was when I had the hysterectomy. And it's been an interesting it's been an interesting year. It's been a little over a year now. It'll be 2 here soon before I know it. Going through menopause at 36 was not on my bingo card. But you know what? It happened. I'm, thankfully I'm happy, I'm healthy. And I had my husband by my side the entire time, and my daughter and my family and friends, of course. And, that's what really helped me out through all of that. Ooh, goodness me, I'm starting to cry.
No, don't do that, kid. No.
But,
No.
but yeah, no, it was,
Jesus,
very
I'm sorry.
interesting. No. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. No, it was just it was a very interesting time. So,
Yeah.
to say the least, but I did use like I said, I did use YouTube as a lot of distraction. That's how I found Tipster at one point, watching him and his content. Then I found Xylee soon after, and Dead on Dave and Peepaw, and then now recording came later, and yeah, I've been with you guys ever since.
It's crazy. While you were having your surgery, that's like the same month we started the podcast.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
That's insane.
I remember because I remember watching it when it was still on your channel,
Yeah.
and then you guys had your live stream. One of the, I think it was the Ghosty live stream when you guys found out that he lied.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that on your. No. Was
That's
that
after we
still
moved.
on? Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, and you guys moved to the new channel, and I remember I remember watching the stuff on your channel. I remember watching that, yeah, and just oh boy, all of that, and yeah, that's how I found you guys, and I've been here ever since. But now making content myself, I did not expect to ever do or have the ability to do. It just so happenstancely that in March of that year, or not March of that year, listen to me, March of this year, March of 2023, excuse me, jumping ahead a little bit. And in March of 2023, after I kind of like made myself, I guess, kind of known within like different chats and stuff. You can call me an orbiter if you want. That's what I thought that I was at the time.
Yeah.
I would, go from different chats and stuff like that and just interact with a bunch of people here and there. And that was what I did. But in March of 2023, Xylee had made a tweet that there was going to be open auditions for the broadcast. Now, me and my brain thought that it was just going to be strictly for content creators. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. So when I saw this said tweet, I was like, "Oh, cool! I wonder who they're gonna get." And I was thinking of like a few other people that could potentially do it. And she's like, "If you have any suggestions as to who you would want to see, who you want to see linked, or let me know in the comments." I threw in Leia. I said Leia and Bunny. And then I just kind of left it at that. Yeah, I'm responsible for Bunny winning, guys. I will take full credit because I'm the one that nominated her. Anyway, I'm kidding. Um,
Wait,
but
right. You are responsible.
well, Bunny has said the same thing, so yeah, there you go. That makes it true. But no, I nominated Leia and Bunny, and then our one of our favorite sheep, Miss Shanry. Her and I had talked a little bit here and there, just like through different Twitter spaces and stuff, and she threw my name in the ring. And I told her when I saw that she had tagged me in the, in the audition, or she threw my name in there, I'm like, I don't know about all that, and just like, it wasn't sure what to say or what to do about it. And and Xylee responded in Xylee fashion, "Ma'am, do you want to audition or not?"
Oh, yeah. That's kind of yeah. That's very Xylee. So how did that go?
Well, it actually went really well. Very nerve-wracking for me. It was the first time that I had ever done anything like that before. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting experience. I auditioned like a week or two later with, at the time it was just Xylee, Mystic, and Evo, which is three of them, which is hard to believe. And I did a true crime story of a woman, a local story here of a murderous bitch by the name of Pam Hupp. It got turned into like a mini series and all that. Shortly after the story was released and the trial was over, I did that as my audition, and then obviously I didn't get it, which I was half
You
expecting.
know,
But,
little rig, little bullshit. Yeah.
I was. But no, I was, yes, did I hope to get it? Of course I did. But just like every other audition he did. But I also met Ginger through that. I met Bunny through that. I met Leia through that. I knew of Leia, but I got to know her more through that. I got to meet Stardust through that audition and everything, and it was really fun. We all were and Rennie, I met Rennie through there too, and it was a great audition process. Like, I couldn't ask for it to be any better. It was really fun. And I didn't get it, obviously, which it is what it is. It went to Bunny and Rennie respectfully, and they deserved it. And, but then later on, after the auditions were done, I, I had gotten a winning endorsement from our wonderful Peepaw. And he had said on stream after the auditions were done and everything, and they picked the winners, that if I wanted to uh learn to make content or to do content, to reach out to him and he would help me out, and he sure did.
Oh, he'll help you out, but he won't give you spot on clear as mud, huh? Pretty bitch.
Audition
No,
for
no.
Clear as Mud. um but no, I thought about auditioning for Clear as Mud, I'm not gonna lie, but it was like soon after the broadcast, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go through that again, so I just left it alone. But
Oh,
that,
he should
yeah,
have just gave you
so
the spot.
Why? Well,
Well, I mean, he said he liked your audition a lot, so why not? He held
I
auditions like a
mean,
month later.
I couldn't. No, I wasn't going to expect him to do that. No, but yeah, so he helped me out, and plus, I had just started like not too long. I think around the time that Clear as Mud was doing their auditions, I think that I was just getting ready to start streaming. I think, or it was soon after I started streaming was when the auditions happened with that. I was nowhere near ready for any of that yet, you know. And I didn't know what all that would entail, and and plus my brain power from the auditions with the broadcast was like pretty much done because of all the, you know, research and stuff that I had to do with it. And I didn't want to put myself through that again. Although I probably could have, but I just chose not to. But no, people helped me out. He showed me how to download OBS and everything, and then soon after that, DMAX helped me out too. The both of them I owe quite a bit to. They both helped me out tremendously with getting me started, and have still helped me out to even to this day. Um, they I you know, and I've been streaming ever since. So there you
Oh
go.
yeah,
I
that's
started.
around the same time I found you too, because I remember people kept shouting you out. He's like, "This person's making this really good content." I was like, "Okay, he's done this a couple times now. Let me go check." And yeah, that's whenever I found you. And
Aw,
yeah, around the same time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not the best, but you know what? I do
That's
what
pretty
I
good.
can. But no, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it's I started off, so when I did first start streaming, I got like the computer, the microphone and all that, and I looked at Mr. Huck at one point and I'm like, do I really want to do this? And he's like, what do you mean? I go, I don't know if I want, you know, of course I got cold feet, but I'm glad that I got over the said cold feet. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I started streaming in May. Been doing this now for 6 months, which is hard to believe. It's been a crazy, crazy journey. This, I'm very shocked and very honored and like just humbled, I guess, that all of this has worked out the way that it did, and the circumstances that led to everything is just like what? Like I can't believe that me just being an orbiter within the community and me being on Twitter a couple of times led me to this, you know, and
Well,
people actually want to hear from me. It's like, what? What? It's, yeah, but it's been fun. It's been a blast.
okay, I speak for a lot of people around, and glad you stuck around. Glad you found your little spot in the community.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
what's your favorite video on your channel?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh gosh, that's like asking who's my favorite kid. Even though I only have one. Oh god, I don't even know. I I would have to say I don't have a particular favorite. I don't have one favorite because that's a damn near impossible just to have one favorite. But I'd have to say that the conversations or the interviews that I have been doing here lately, a few of my favorites have been that were unexpectedly my favorites. There's or that were either unexpectedly my favorites or that were genuinely fun to begin with, and I wasn't sure how things were going to turn out. One of my favorites, though, off the top of my head, was Jessica Pizzle. That one was one of my favorites in the sense that I didn't really know her that well before we
Yeah.
talked, and I knew of her, but I didn't really like talk to her like one on one. We would like exchange different messages or different like comments and stuff through Twitter and maybe and sometimes in different chats and stuff, but that was really about it. And when I asked her to come on, you know, she was obviously very generous and very willing to come on, and her and I had an amazing conversation. And since then, I think that she's a really good person, and I think that she can be savage. Let's not lie, she can be savage, but I think that Jessica was unexpectedly one of the surprises that I really liked. That turned into something really really fun. Uh,
I actually used to be a Jessica
Jessica,
Pizzle hater.
did you?
Yeah, she's growing on me
Oh
though now.
wow.
Yeah, I like not hate, but like I didn't
Mhm.
like her, but
Mhm.
she's definitely grown on me now, and I see why people like her.
Well,
I get the
really,
appeal.
yeah, I do too. Well, I didn't really know how she how she was like cuz like the first time I ever got introduced to her as a lot of people did was when she had the fight with Matt. And
Mhm.
the crying gate, if you want to call it that, or whatever you want, what does she call it? Leg gate? Is that what she
Yeah.
calls it? Um, when when the leg gate happened. But I mean, I was sure, but then I would see like when she started coming back around and making her different videos and stuff, like the ones that she did about Matt going missing or something, and the ones that she did where she claimed that she was high, and all of those were hysterical. So of course I was wanting to talk with her, and I thought that they were super funny. But that turned out to be such a great conversation, and her and I have talked since, and I'd say that we're friends. I wouldn't say that we're like the best of friends, but I'd say that we're good friends, and she picks on me quite a bit here lately, which I find hilarious too. So that's it's turned into that, which has been fun. Um let's see, what's another good one that I had? D-Max was a good one. D-Max was really fun. Um, that was in the beginning, like right when I first started doing stuff. I've talked to Peepaw. You were one of my favorites. That was really fun
Oh.
too. Yeah. Um, Doug was a good one. Uh, oh gosh, I've had so many. So in the short amount of time, it's hard to believe that I can't think of them off the top of my head.
It might be a short amount of time, but you've also done like a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've talked to pretty much not everybody, but I've talked to quite a bit. Talked to Mike the Bike. Mike the Bike was fun. Dead on Dave, Leia something. Let's see here. Seth, Gigi, Peepaw, Matt Pitt. Matt Pitt came on. Beavers was a lot of fun. Beavers was really fun too. Uh, it's Mitch. Mitch was another good one. I've had so many in the short amount of time, and very lucky to have the amount of people that I've had on so far. It's been really fun. Maggot, when she first came on and I did the interview with her, and now look, she's my co-host. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself, and I thought that that was really cool too.
Is that
I,
how you guys met? Like you just
mhm.
interviewed her? You just reached out and interviewed her, and then you just like,
Well, well, kinda. So we had kind of talked a little bit off and on Twitter and stuff, and again in different chats, and I remember like this one this one Twitter exchange. It was between me, it was between Peepaw, D-Max, and her. And I somehow got thrown into it. I can't This happened like months ago. I somehow got thrown into it, and I made a couple comments here and there, and Maggot replied with, KHuck is mine, you guys. She is mine. And ever since then we've been talking ever since. Which I thought was really cool. It was really funny and random. Um, but I asked her not too long after I started doing the interviews and stuff, and her and I had a blast on that stream, and we had so much fun. And like a little while later, after that stream, I thought about it, and I'm like, why don't I see about making her a co-host and just see what she thinks? Because I wasn't sure how she felt about it, because she never really did consistent content. She just would do edits and stuff like that, as we all well know. Um, so I wasn't sure how she would feel about it, but I just asked her and she said yes, and it's been like that way ever since.
have you ever asked her about her own content, or she would ever think about it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did ask her that in the interview, if she ever thought about like doing, because she at the time, and she still does. She had her own channel that she would just upload like different anime edits and stuff like that together. She has one on there, I believe, of an edit that she made of Peepaw from a while ago. But I did ask her that at that point, if she would like want to go off and do her own content, but I don't know. She at the time, she didn't want to do anything on her own necessarily. She just enjoyed doing what she was doing, which is totally fair. But I don't know if she would ever, if she can go off and make videos and do what she wants. She's more than happy to do so if she's willing and able. Um, I don't know if she has any plans for it that I know of. I know that she's working on something with Doug potentially, but that's all I know.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
You just gave me
Mhm.
an idea.
Oh God, what?
What if we did like anime edits but with commentary, right? So we take, because I know she's like also into Naruto and stuff, right? I like Naruto. We take clips, but we like dub it with commentary people, right? Oh my god.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be cool.
I think I'm
That
onto
would be
something
neat.
here. That'd be so
Oh,
funny.
oh, there you go. You know what? I would totally be down for that. That would. Oh, I would totally do it.
That sounds so fun. All right, I might.
That does sound fun. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know what else she's possibly wanting to do, if anything, outside of me. I know that her and I have been through some shit together in these short few months that that is like beyond anything that I thought would happen. But you know what? I couldn't ask. I couldn't think of a better partner either. To be there with me and to help me out through all of that, and just to be Maggot. Maggot is awesome, and I will be forever grateful that she decided to join me in this. And we've been a team ever since, and I love her to death.
Yeah, you guys have a very great dynamic.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was not expecting that kind of dynamic, honestly. But then again, it is. I just thought that maybe she could just come on every so often when she wanted to and just help me out with like the different interviews and stuff. Did not think that it would turn into this. I'm so incredibly grateful for it.
um, you told me your favorite interviews, and I don't think you're gonna give me an answer here. Do you have a least favorite one?
I don't.
Okay, let me rephrase, right? Because do you have one that you wish would have went differently?
Um, I don't think so.
Because when I was like writing these questions, I was thinking like the only one I could think of was like maybe Liana.
Well, you know what though? Yeah, the okay about the Liana one. The Liana one, just I was not expecting for her to have to leave so early. If she had to leave, if she would have, if she, and I'm not saying this to be mean in any way, shape, or form. If she would have thought to tell me that she only had a limited amount of time to talk, then I could have made that work. But she did not tell me that. And she did not tell Maggot that I know of, because I asked her afterwards and she's like, no, she didn't tell me anything. And I'm like, oh boy. But again, not it happens. Mistakes happen, accidents happen. It's not the end of the world. I'm obviously don't care. I just wasn't expecting for it to be that short, because again, it just wasn't relayed to Maggot or I that she only had a limited amount of time. So yeah, if Liana is willing to come back on and we can have a longer conversation, I'll be more than happy to do it. Or if she can only come on for a certain amount of time, I'm fine with that too. I don't care. But I don't know. I wish that there are times when I wish that I wouldn't get so nervous. That's one of them. Like the Willie Mac one and the Bo Blacks one. I was, oh my god, dude, I was shaking. I
You did
wish
good
that
though. What do you
I
mean?
dude. Oh, I was shaking like a leaf during those two interviews. Holy shit. It was something that I was not expecting to happen, and I was very surprised when it did happen, don't get me wrong, and extremely grateful, because Bo Blacks reached out to me uh later on, like a couple weeks afterwards, and used a clip from the interview that he was talking about with a certain drama, and he posted it on his channel and promoted it.
Nice.
And I'm like, uh, he did not have to do that, and that was incredible for him to do. Willie Mack is Willie Mack. Willie Mack is awesome. He came on, not to. He only came on because of Megan, I think. But you know what? He still came on. We still had fun. He figured out what a brony was. That was fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He figured out what a brony was and got confronted by the brony by D-Max. Yeah.
How did that go?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was super fun. Don't get me wrong. But no, we ended up. But I ended up being more relaxed, and obviously we had a good time. But no, Willie Mack is great, and so is Bo Blacks. Everybody has been fantastic that has came on so far. I'm very appreciative. Obviously, if you can't already tell. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you have any plans on like other like video ideas, like expanding to outside of interviews?
Yes. Currently, well, me, myself, and I by myself, not yet. But at some point, or no, I'm not at some point. Listen to me. It's going to be premiering here soon. I am currently working with Nerdy John. Another fun interview that I had on there that was great. Going to be working with Nerdy John on our channel or on our podcast, if you will. That's the Nerd in the Huck. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. We might do some interviews here and there, but I think that we're mostly just going to talk about like different commentary topics or different subjects. So interesting. That's what we've been doing the last couple of recordings and stuff. But do I plan on making any videos on my own? Probably at some point. I haven't gotten to that point yet or have found the time myself to do it. But once I get there, and I want to be fully committed to it, and I want to be able to set aside time to dedicate time to it, to do like more thorough research and figure out what I want to talk about and actually do like a thorough research into said topic and be able to have a concise video and all that. I can't just make videos like right off the spot like some other creators can. And I'll give
Yeah.
them credit that they have the ability to do so. I just do not.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe at some point I thought about doing that. Megan and I had talked about doing that before everything happened was still connected. We had talked about possibly doing a video or two of on our own of just talking about like a different subject or interviewing somebody off stream and recording it. We thought about doing that. We're still thinking about possibly doing that too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Nice. I kind of want to stereotype you for a second.
Oh, good Lord, what?
I want to ask you what kind of music you like, but before I do, I want to take a guess. You seem like you're a fan of, I'm going to give you three. I think your first is probably like country, mixed in with like a little bit of pop, and then like classic, like classical. I don't know why.
Um,
Might be off.
the country part you are correct on.
Okay,
I do like some country. I prefer the older country though. Like
fair.
the Tim McGraw, oh, who else is a good one? Alan Jackson, um Brad Paisley. Well, Brad Paisley isn't older, but he's been around for a while. Brad Paisley, Luke Bryan, Luke Combs is another good one that I love. Um, those excuse me, that type of country, yes. Pop, yeah, I do like some pop. Older pop though, like kind of like Madonna, Britney Spears. Um, I do like, of course, I do love me some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I can't help it.
Ugh,
Uh, shut up. The but I mean, classical. I do like some classical too, here and there. But I grew up with like old school rock, like 80s rock, 70s rock. That's what I
yeah.
grew up with, like Aerosmith. Um, who else? Aerosmith, Doobie Brothers. Uh, oh shoot, there's so many. That's what I grew up with, was that type of music growing up, because my dad is a huge old rock and roll head. He loves him some Def Leppard, Bruce Springsteen, people like artists like that.
Bro,
That's what
my
I grew
dad's
up with.
my dad's obsessed with Def Leppard. Jesus.
Def Leppard,
Ah,
he wasn't. They both of my parents really didn't listen to quite a lot. A lot. My mom likes to dub herself a Bruce Springsteen groupie, which cracks me up. But yeah, that's the kind of music that I grew up with. Billy Joel, Jim Croce, a few other artists here and there, like the older artist Janis Joplin. That's the kind of music that still is warms my heart, because that's what I grew up with, of course. But no, I do like. I don't really listen to anything really of like modern wise, because it just kind of hurts my ears a little. A
yeah.
little bit, but I guess it just depends on the artist and what the song is or whatever. But yeah, I mean, classical I could do too, here and there. It just depends. I love musicals. Musicals is my absolute favorite. Musicals 100% all the way, 100%.
I guess I can see that too. I should have threw that in there.
Oh yeah, musicals 100%. Grease, Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is my favorite movie in the entire world. Have you ever heard of Crybaby?
I think I no.
Really? Oh, that's a good one. It's Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp. It's a Johnny Depp movie from like in the early 90s. Oh, it's so cheeseball, but I love it. Go watch it. It's great.
I will.
You
I
either
will.
will love it or hate it. It's probably a little, but yeah, go watch it. The one with Johnny Depp. Oh, it's great. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. I could go on and on about that movie.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong person about movies because I've seen like maybe like barely any movies in my life, and everyone's like, have you
Oh,
never
that's
seen this
right.
movie? Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Because what was that one movie that Now Recording was picking you on for that you hadn't seen? Um,
No, I forgot. Uh,
was it Ghostbusters or something?
Maybe I haven't seen Ghostbusters.
You haven't, dude. You
You can just
haven't
throw
seen
any
the
movie
original
in it, like
Ghostbusters,
no.
dude. Oh, Mr. Huck would kill you. um, uh, what was there was one movie? You have. Well, what all have you seen?
Well, there's like the like children's movies that I grew up with. Like, I'm younger, like Finding Nemo and
Hmm.
like I grew up with like Cat in the Hat, SpongeBob, stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Um, Older movie my dad, one of his favorite movies is Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh,
I like
that's a
that
good
movie. Yeah,
one. Yeah,
I like
that's a
that
good one.
movie. Um, like all the vacation movies are really good.
Yes, we watched that at our Friendsgiving. We watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The
Yeah,
best.
that
Classic.
one's
The
good.
best. My
My
husband
favorite
is Clark Griswold. He is Mr. Huck is
Oh,
Clark
no.
Griswold. 100% that Clark Griswold is my husband. Fact. Fact.
I think my favorite one is the original, though, like, the original Vacate
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah. That
yeah.
but that one gets overshadowed by Christmas Vacation. Sorry. It just
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's got a special spot in my heart.
Oh yeah, 100.
Um,
Oh yeah, I've seen it before too. But in my personal opinion, and from what people have said, yes, the vacation movies are classic. But it gets oh that the first one gets overshadowed, in my opinion, because of the Christmas movies, because or that Christmas Vacation because of how classic it is.
you know what else it is, too? I don't really wanna watch a lot of modern movies because I hate superheroes. Like, I just now got into, like, Spider-Man,
Hmm.
like, this year. Like, I
Yeah.
watched the one that came out a couple years ago, and then I watched the one that came out this year, and
Hmm.
I thought those were pretty good, but I don't really care about the rest of these, like, Endgame, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I did like Endgame. I did like the Avengers. I did like all that, but I never really got like fully into it like what like my husband and my friends did because most of my friends and IRL are guys. And I never really got into it. They did because they grew up with like the comics and everything. And they've seen the comics or they've read the comics or whatever, but I never really fully got into it either. I appreciate them for what they are, but I never really was a big fangirl over them. Like, I didn't get obsessed over them or anything. I appreciate them, but that's as far as I'll go to. Like my husband just finished, or he's close to finishing, I should say, the Spider-Man game
yeah.
that just came out. He's on the verge of finishing that, and he's been loving that. And that seems like it's a great game. But before that, he was obsessed with Baldur's Gate, and all that too. He's a big gamer too. Like he's a huge nerd. But
Nice.
uh, I prefer my Nintendo. That's what I prefer. I'm a Nintendo girl through and through.
So
Tears
you
of
have
the
a Switch?
Kingdom. Yes,
Yeah.
we have a regular Switch, and then for Baby Huck, we got her a Switch Lite.
Oh,
We both love our Nintendos.
you gotta
We
get Baby Hut Pokemon.
Yes, she has played Pokemon. She is
Yes.
obsessed with Pokemon,
Yes.
100%. Yes. She loves Pokemon. Fun story, actually. I don't think I didn't tell you this. I don't think anybody really knows this. Breaking news exclusive. So a couple months ago, when Baby Huck really first started getting into Pokemon, I reached out to our resident Pokemon dealer, Mr. Dead on Dave,
Oh, yeah?
and he hooked me up with so many Pokemon cards and so many different figures from. I'm not, dude. I got a package from him that was filled to the brim of just Pokemon cards, like a few figures thrown in here and there. It was filled to the brim of just nothing but Pokemon. Some of them were exclusives, some of them were rares. It was wonderful. He literally made my daughter's year.
Yeah,
It
that's what I'm
was fantastic.
saying. Like I like Dave. I think like outside of like YouTube, like his whole pawn shop thing that he does, and like his like that's why like I'll say it now. Like I cut whenever he messaged me, and I like listened to it. I was like, oh, he's got the eBay thing, and I'm like looking at all
Mhm.
this stuff. Like he's got a really cool little second thing going here. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned it. I think he's mentioned it quite a few times. I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, the I went through his pawn shop and
Oh, did you?
his yeah, that's where I believe I did. That's where I believe I got most of this, or where he got most of it from was through his
Like
pawn shop, I believe.
you went in person?
No.
Oh.
He I think I that's where well, at least when he videoed it to me, that's where he was at. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he literally sent me a package that was filled to the brim, nothing but Pokemon cards. He hooked me up, and that made her day, year, month, you name it. She loves it. And now she's starting to get into Harry Potter now.
Oh.
She watched all the movies fairly recently, so she loves those. Gosh, she's watched them so many different times now. She's watched all of them at least 3 times, at least.
You gotta eventually get her. There's a if you have like a it might be on Switch too, but I'm not sure. There's a Lego Harry Potter collection that's usually on sale that's
Ooh.
like $12 and it has a bunch of the original games on it.
Ooh, that's a good idea. You know what I thought about doing though too is that I thought about getting her just well, is it wait a minute, how many games are there?
Oh,
It is
there's the new one, there's the Hogwarts one, and then there's like there's a Lego collection that comes with it's like the movies. You play through like the movies and it's like 1 through 4, and then there's another collection that's like
Oh.
5 through whatever.
Oh, I will definitely have to do that then. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. Definitely have
Yeah.
to look for that for her. That sounds awesome. I didn't know. Well, I knew that they had a Lego Harry Potter game, but I didn't know how many they had. Huh.
Yeah, you buy one and then it comes with like 4 of them on the game.
Oh, sweet. Oh, so
Yeah.
totally. Yes, I'm totally gonna look into that. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
totally gonna look into that. Totally, 100%. Um, what else was I gonna say? But yeah, it's yeah, we're not nerds in this house. No, not one bit. No, not at all. No. I don't love
Well,
my
what
Zelda. No.
I
Nope. Mm-mm.
I haven't played. I think I even said this on your interview. I might have. The only Zelda I've played was Wind Waker. I haven't
Oh,
played Breath of the
oh yeah, that's
Wild
right. You
or
did say that. Yes, I do remember you saying that. Breath of the Wild is a lot of fun. Wind Waker,
yeah.
I have not played.
Okay.
I think that is besides like the ones that are canon or not canon, I guess depending on how you want to look at it. I've never played Zelda 2.
Yeah.
Um I don't know if I ever want to play that or not. I've been told, you could if you really wanted to. I've been told different things about it. I used to play Zelda 1 because I grew up with an NES. That's what I grew up with. That's why I'm
Yeah.
such a Nintendo fan, is because
Do you
that's what I
have
grew up with.
sorry, I keep going down these rabbit holes with you because I'm like big into like all like video games and stuff. Do you have the Nintendo Switch Online? Like the
Yes.
subscription thing? Do you
Hmm.
have which one do you have? Do you have the like $20 a year or the 50?
I think it's the 50.
Because I know if you have the 50, they have the Nintendo 64 games on there for Zelda.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, because my husband played GoldenEye on it.
yeah. And then they also have the NES ones on there too.
Oh, do they
There's a
really?
ton of NES games on there. They have like Super Mario Bros, like 1, 3, like there's a bunch of stuff on there you can play. They have NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, just a bunch of stuff.
Oh, they have the SNES ones on there.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, because I had just heard that they added the N64 games. I didn't know about the SNES ones. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that now. Oh, that makes me excited. That makes me very excited. Dude, you're telling me all sorts of stuff. I love it. But I'm in the middle of actually, well, not in the middle of. I'm actually almost towards the end of Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
Dude, play Breath of the Wild. Give it a shot. It is so much fun. Dude, you can do so much with it. Tears of the Kingdom is even better cuz you can actually like build shit. Oh, play it. Play it. Play it and let me know what you think. Like
Does that have
seriously,
voice
play it.
acting?
What?
Does that have voice acting?
Yes, there's voice acting in both. Yes.
Okay, because like I only get Pokemon that passed and I have voice acting. And that's even getting
Well,
old. Right? They gotta
there
get with the times.
there is some there okay, in the major cutscenes and with some characters, like I guess the main characters in the games, because I don't want to give it away. There is some voice acting, not a whole lot, but there is some more voice acting than what you would expect from a Zelda game. Yes, from those two in particular. Um, Now I know that there wasn't any voice acting really in like Link's Awakening or anything. Link's Awakening is actually really fun. I played that. And like Link Between Worlds and stuff like. Well, there was there? No, there wasn't. Never mind. But with Breath of the Wild and with Tears of the Kingdom, there is some voice acting in it, but it's totally it works. It's really cool. Give it a shot, please,
I
please, and tell
will.
me what
I
you
will.
think.
Speaking about being a nerd, things that aren't very nerdy, but some people might think they're nerdy. Bowling. You're always talking about bowling. What's going on with you and bowling?
Yes. We Mr. Huck and I are on a bowling league with two
Nice.
of our best friends. We started in May of this year. And it's or hold on, when did we? Yeah, we started. No, I'm sorry, we started in June. Excuse me. We started in June of this year. With the bowling, and that's been a lot of fun. We are currently in 7th place out of 14 teams, so we're right in the middle.
Nice. Is that
um,
like a local thing?
Yeah, it's a local league that we joined with and actually what's really funny is that my sister is on the same league, so we bowl against her on occasion. Which actually makes it really fun.
Do you have like a, I don't really know how these things work, right? Do you have like an average score that you get or like a,
Mhm, mhm. So when we started off, so we did the summer league, which went until September. And then the in September starts the winter league, and then that goes until May. So it's like a yearly thing. So they just do summer and fall/winter. They combine them, or they kind of combine them both, but then again they don't. You let's just say you don't get a reprieve between summer and fall when it comes to bowling. Let's just say that. But um, so what they do is that when we started off with the summer league, we played a game and that determined what they call your handicap. So let's say, for example, that on the summer league, which I don't know if I did or not, I'm just using this as an example. Let's say that I bowled a 200.
nice.
That would be my handicap for the entire session, right? They can
Ooh,
use that those 200. They can use that 200. Like, let's say that I got less than that. That 200 would still go towards the total amount of points for a
okay.
game. And then let's say that Mr. Huck did 185. That 185 would go towards the rest of the session. But when the fall and winter session starts, you start all over.
Yeah.
And so, but so far, my handicap is a 110 is what I think I bowled for the fall session. And at the first game, the point game, if you will, is what they call it. And so we've been building up ever since, and we've been trying to get consistently better ever since. Right now, we're in 7th place, so we'll see
What
if we
is
end that way.
what's first place usually get?
Well, at the end of the summer or the fall session, they usually have like a little uh ceremony, if you will, that lets you decide on whether you want to get credit towards like the bowling alley itself, to get like merch, to get a ball, to get wristbands or shoes or whatever, or you can just take straight cold hard cash.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd take a bowling ball. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I used the money that we won from the summer session, or the money that I won from the summer session itself. I used that towards a bowling ball. It was really nice. So, um, and I bought, the shoes aren't that expensive. I guess it just depends on where you go through. But yeah, it's all local within the area that we live in. And most of us know each other to a certain. I live in a not very small town, but it's a small-ish town to where when you run into somebody, you know who they are and you think of where they're from and you've seen them before. So
Yeah.
it's that kind of area that we live in, that most of us know each other to a certain degree, but not really. We have a lot of small world stuff happen, which is hilarious. So that's where we at, and that's the league that we joined, and it's been a lot of fun ever since. So it's been really great. We bowl on Sundays. We practice when we can, and when we have the time for it, usually on the off days. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We really enjoy it.
Have you ever thought about practicing with what's the game called? It's like they
Wii
redid
Sports?
Wii Bowl. Yeah, they did Wii Bowling, but they like brought it on Switch. What's it called? Wii Switch Sports. That's pretty simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yeah, we played that. We played that. I've thought about doing that, and I used to do. Oh, dude, I was a master at Wii bowling. Are you kidding me? Wii bowling was my jam. But I haven't played the one on the Switch yet because I wasn't sure exactly how the controls work. My husband and Baby Huck have played it, but I haven't played it myself yet. But
It's
I've
pretty
thought about
similar.
playing it. Is it?
You can't beat the original, but it's pretty similar.
Oh yeah, true. 100%. No, I agree. I remember when my husband and I both have IRL jobs. I'm like rambling right now. I'm so sorry. Please tell me to stop at any point in time.
No,
My Mr. Huck and I both have IRL jobs, but now we work from home. But when we were in the office, I work with a particular set of people that are different from what he works with. I don't want to give too much away.
yeah,
And but the group of people that I worked with on occasion, like every 3 months or so, we would have I shit you not, a Wii bowling tournament. Someone bought a Wii within the department that I worked in, and we used to have Wii bowling tournaments.
it's great.
Mm-hmm. I miss those days. I do. Dude, we were cutthroat, man. We did not joke around when it came to Wii bowling, man.
I want to buy a Wii so bad. I've been looking to buy a Wii.
I think we still have ours somewhere. Ours is somewhere here. I couldn't tell you where exactly, but I think that we still have ours. Now, whether it works or not, I have no idea because we haven't touched it in God knows how long. But we have like, oh, dude, I have so many different consoles right now that I'm looking at right now. Uh, we have the PlayStation 5, Xbox, the newest Xbox. We have the Switch. We have a regular Nintendo. We have an NES somewhere. We have an N64 somewhere. Need I continue? We have so many different consoles here in this house. It's not even funny.
That's a pretty cool problem to have, though, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I guess some of them work and some of them don't.
Yeah,
It just depends on, cause some of them came used that we found used, obviously, but some of them were, it just depends on, some of them came with us as when we moved from one house to another. Some of them we gave away, it just depends on what we all have. But I'm currently looking at a bunch of empty boxes right now in my basement, and I'm like, oh boy. Like, I wonder what, because Mr. Huck is an avid collector. when it comes to stuff like that. So he keeps it on hand in case he wants to get a few extra bucks here and there. So, because you'd be surprised at how many people would just buy the box itself and how
Oh
much
yeah,
money
I
you
know.
get from
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. I saw when the PlayStation 5 came out, for some reason, I don't know how this situation even happened, but people are selling boxes for $50. I'm like,
Yeah. Mhm.
the system just came out. How did you end up without the box?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It could go for more. There was one
Yeah.
box. There's a oh, I can't. What was it? It was oh yeah, that's right. We had a garage sale once, like a couple months ago, and Mr. Huck put in the original the original NES box.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
He sold that, I'm not kidding you, for $150.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't even mark it that way. He marked it at like 20. I'm not kidding you. He walked away with $150. We were like, what? We were very, it was legitly, I don't know what the guy was going to use it for or what, but we were like, hey, okay. We walked out $150 richer. We didn't
Nice.
complain. I mean, it is what it is. But, what was I gonna say? But no, bowling itself is actually a lot of fun. It's something that we do just to get out of the house too, because we really haven't been able to get out of the house a whole lot since COVID and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and with the holidays coming up here soon too, it's now officially Christmas season. That gives us a little bit of an excuse to get out of the house more. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
actually interact and stuff, and a lot of fun. And our two bowling mates are our best friends who I've known and we've known for 20 years almost, give or take. So it's couldn't ask for anything better right now. So we're very, very happy and blessed.
Nice. Well, speaking about happy things, how did you and Mr. Huck meet?
Oh boy. Um, get ready. Okay, here we
That's a
go.
start.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I was a junior in high school when I met
Okay.
him, and that was in 2005. He had just graduated the year before in 2004, and he um uh I did it I found him and met him coincidentally enough at a high school house party that he crashed. And
Nice.
yeah, a couple of friends of mine back in the day were dating, and one of them I'm still really close with. One of them is my best friend, but he was dating a girl who he should not have been dating, but that's another story. And she ended up having a house party because, of course, a typical high school party when parents are away, your child's going to play, right?
Yeah.
Her dad was out of town, so she decided to have a party. Well, we were of course there was alcohol, of course there was this, because of course we were rebels having a high school party.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, Mr. Huck crashed said party. He
Oh
came
no.
with a gallon of Captain Morgan and his granddaddy's moonshine.
What do you mean
And
crash the party? That sounds like you made the party better.
he crashed it in the sense that he didn't know that it was a high school party.
Oh.
He
Alright.
thought that it was like he wasn't, yeah, he realized when he walked in that it was a high school party, and he didn't know that at first. So when he came in with a shitload of alcohol, he was like, oh god, this is a high school party. But by that point it was a little too late, so he decided to join in on the festivities. And that's how I met him. Yeah, and that was 18 years ago.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were. So after that, we were really good friends. He claims that he tried to hit on me shortly after that party. That did not happen. He claims that he hit on me after seeing me outside of a Steak and Shake. That did not happen. Um, or at least if it did happen, I don't remember that happening, but he claims that it did.
Oh,
Um,
steak and shake.
Steak and oh, dude, Steak and Shake here sucks
Why?
now.
What?
Yeah, oh, the Steak and Shake here, it sucks. Oh, it's terrible here now. It never used to be. It never used to be, but now, oh, they are terrible. Oh, it
That's insane.
sucks here. It sucks here. I've heard of other states and other places it being great there, and that's great, but here it sucks. It makes me sad.
Love Steak and Shake so much.
What's your favorite steak? What's your favorite?
They have like this Cajun burger that's so good. And then
Mm-hmm.
they had some kind of like milkshake thing too. I'm not crazy about milkshakes, but they had some I don't remember what it was like a seasonal thing. And oh my god, it
What
was
kind was it? Do
like
you remember?
I
What did
can't
they have in it?
remember.
Oh.
I have no clue.
Um, no, they do have dude, I haven't been to a Steak and Shake in so long now because of how terrible it's been. Here they just suck. Oh, it never, like I said, it never was that way before, but because of COVID and whatnot, I guess, or I don't know, but they just have gone downhill here ever since.
You know what?
There's very,
I'm gonna start asking people this question. What do you think about Waffle House?
I love Waffle House actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Waffle House is my jam too. I don't get to go there as often as what I used to when I was younger, but there's quite a few more Waffle Houses here than what I initially thought. Because there was one, I believe it's still there. There was one that's right down the street from where I used to grew up. Um and or where I grew up at, I should say. And I think it's still there. I'm not sure, but there's a whole bunch. There's like a couple within my area that I'm in now that we try to go to on occasion. I love Waffle House. Waffle House is the best. I don't care what anybody says.
Thank you.
I love Waffle House. Their coffee is
Yeah.
awesome. Their coffee is the best. Oh, I miss their coffee and I think I got their biscuits and gravy there once and it was
Oh my god.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. But
It's like I either get like the all-star breakfast, which just comes with everything, basically,
mhm.
or I get like the patty melt with like hash browns and then like chili on the hash browns. It's like,
Ooh.
oh my god.
Well, speaking of chili, my favorite from Steak and Shake is the chili five way. That's my favorite.
I had that.
It's the spaghetti with the chili on it, and you can get like onions and cheese and
That
all
was
sorts of other
spaghetti?
stuff on it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I didn't know that.
well they call it the chili mac five way. Here, I don't know if they do it where you're at, but here they use spaghetti noodles.
Huh.
Yeah, they use spaghetti noodles and they put the chili on top of it, and you can do onions and cheese and sort also. Oh, it's so good. I'm craving one right now. It's so good. I love it. That is the only thing that I can tolerate from Steak and Shake is that. It's so sad though, because it never was like that before. We used to go there. That was our hangout, man. That was our place that we went to on the weekends or after school or whenever we could. That was our place, man. But since COVID, they've gone downhill.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to your co-host, Maggot.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Uh huh.
Uh, there's three things I like know about Maggot. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Decent taste in music. Okay.
Yes.
She's a
Yes.
monsterholic.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh huh.
And she likes anime.
Yes.
Do you watch anime?
On occasion, yes.
What's your favorite?
Um, Cowboy Bebop, number one.
Nice.
Um, I was reincarnated as a slime. That one's really
Never watched.
funny. That one's really good. Kataro or Katuro lives alone. That's a really, really good one. Uh, a silent voice. Um, oh god, there's been so many. One Piece. I have not seen the anime One Piece yet. I have
Oh
only
boy.
seen the Netflix one.
Don't
Which
s-
I.
don't start. I get it. All right, One Piece fans are like it's so good, blah blah. It's 1,000. It's like 11, 1,200 episodes. Okay, that's a
So
journey.
I've been told, yeah. Um, I have not watched the anime One Piece yet, but I don't know if I want to delve into that or not because that's going to take up a lot of my life. So we'll see. But the Netflix one was really good. That one I recommend highly.
Yeah, I do want to
Uh,
watch that one.
let's see. There's a lot. Naruto. Or how do you say it? Naruto. Naruto. Is it
Naruto.
Naruto?
Naruto.
Naruto. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Naruto. I have heard of before meeting Maggot. I have watched one or two, I believe, episodes. I could not tell you what they were. It was forever and a day ago. Um, I like I said, I had heard of it. I had heard of it before meeting Maggot. I never got into it though.
Much
Um,
more.
yeah, I know. I need to. I know.
But it's all that one's also like a lot of people don't watch the new one, Boruto, which is like the newer generation of it.
Yeah.
But even if you don't watch that, it's still like 720 episodes. So it's
Holy
that
shit.
one's a journey. Yeah.
Um, I think. Oh, what's another one that I've the oh god, there was one that I just recently got introduced to. Doctor Stone, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
Um, that one. Oh god, there's so many that I've watched over the last few years. The science and about falling in love or something. That one. Um, there's a whole bunch that I've watched over the years, but my favorite out of all of them, truthfully, is Cowboy Bebop.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Would you
Mm-hmm.
believe me if I said I've never watched an episode of that?
What? What?
And I like
Why?
anime.
What? You don't you don't like anime, but yet what?
No, I do like anime.
Oh,
It's just
okay. I was gonna say
I go
what?
through these waves where like I'm really into anime for like a month or two, and then I just can't watch anime for a little bit.
Oh, gotcha. No,
Yeah.
no, I understand that. Yeah, it's I I never really got into anime until just fairly recently because my the best friend that I mentioned that was dating a girl with the house party, he is the one that is responsible for that, for introducing me to anime actually. Thank you, Tim. He he forces us to watch anime on a regular basis. I've watched so many because of him. It's not even funny. He was the one that was responsible for introducing me to Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that, though too. And but one that we watched on stream, we did an anime stream. I don't know if you've heard about this or not, but we did an anime stream a couple months ago with Maggot, DMX, Tim, and my my wifey. I'll get yelled at if I say otherwise. My wifey in real life, Kelly, and we watched the Ghost Stories dubs. Have you seen those?
No, what's that?
Oh, dude. There's an anime that was released, I guess just in Japan, but it came over to America. Like, I don't know the full history of it. But there's an anime called Ghost Stories, and apparently, from what I remember, and again, in the comments they can clarify for me. Um, it was super bad. It was not received very well. It wasn't, it didn't do very well, I guess, over in Japan. But this creator got a hold of it, and he had it dubbed with with American voice actors.
Huh.
And he essentially told them, "You have free range. Say what you want."
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well I need to watch that.
Yeah. Look it up on YouTube and just look up Ghost Stories dub and watch, like, there's a whole bunch of different videos on there. You will laugh your butt off. They are hilarious. It's a
Have you
compilation
ever
of like different scenes and stuff. It's hilarious.
have you ever I know it's like a generic thing for a lot of people now, but have you ever looked up on YouTube those videos of like the voice actors like warming up to record their lines and they're just saying
Yeah.
completely outrageous things?
Yep. Yep.
Those are great. They always give me like a little
Well,
smile.
Game Grumps said something in one of their Ocarina of Time playthroughs that they when they were doing shows, well, they still do shows, but I think that they were doing one of their shows. and they were in their green room and they were like doing vocal warm-ups and they kept going, black people, and just like emphasizing it. And I was like, oh my God, can you imagine being just different shit that people, yeah. They were, it's Game Grumps. That shouldn't
Can
surprise
I?
anybody that
Okay,
watches them.
okay. I have a question for you, and you can just feel free to say no to this.
Mhm.
When I used to edit now recording on my channel, I used to do out of context intros. Can I just like throw you saying black people in
Oh,
the intro?
no. Sure.
Okay, cool. Um, all right, random curveball question. Have you ever woken up somewhere you don't remember falling asleep?
Yes.
Where?
Um, I think I was on vacation. I think. Oh God, this happened to me quite a few times. Um,
Uh-oh.
one time was in when I went to in vacation in Arizona. Um, that was fairly recently. It hasn't happened to me in a while, and so when it did happen, it kind of freaked me out. But most recently was when we went to Arizona on vacation, and I woke up in the hotel room and I didn't know where I was at. Hmm.
Oh.
It hasn't happened in quite a while, so when it did happen, it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, that's happened to me quite a few times actually.
We did a pre-interview before this a couple
Hmm.
days ago,
Hmm.
and uh wanted to ask you about how do you feel about the terms fence sitting and picking a side?
Oh, um, well, I don't know exactly. I think that it's a very broad term for both. I think that depending on the subject at hand, like there are some I don't know really because it's really hard to describe for me personally. Um, I guess when it comes to like certain situations or certain dramas or something like that, there are people out there who are known to be fence sitters or known to not necessarily pick a side when it comes to certain situations or certain people that it pertains to. Um, I think that for me personally, I think that I don't think that I've ever been labeled as a fence sitter. Maybe I have and I just don't know it. Um, I try my best to not get myself involved in certain dramas that pertain to other creators or other people because it's not my personal beef. Now, if it were me, on the other hand, which I have been in personal beef before, or not personal beef, but I've been in internet beef before, um, of course, I had to make my voice known and where I stood, and I still stand by it. And that I don't really want to get into it, but it pertains to a certain drama that Maggot and I got ourselves in, or got not got ourselves into, but we got dragged into, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Um, and when it came to that certain drama, I had a very hard time being able to navigate my way through it because not only was it the first time that I've ever had to deal with something like that, but also it was really hard for me to get my thoughts together with it because so much was happening at once. Um, and so much of it happened so quickly and so fast that I really didn't have a chance to really get my thoughts together with it. But to me, I think that the term fence sitter, again, it just, and the term like, or people not picking a side when it comes to certain situations, I think that's perfectly fine. Again, it just depends on what the situation is. I think that people who are fence sitters just don't want to pick a side necessarily or just want to stay right in the middle because want to they don't know the full story, or if they do, they're wanting to see what happens with it. It just depends. You can call me a fence sitter. People can call me that if they want. I guess that's what I guess I could be in that regard. But like when it came to um the women recording drama, or whatever else is going on right now, which I won't mention because again, you and I both know kind of to a certain degree what's going on right now. It's I don't want to get in the middle of it because I feel for everybody involved in that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't want to, I just hope that everything works out. And okay, I'll just go ahead and say it with the Dead on Dave and with the Blossom thing. Um, I don't want to get involved in any of that. Or if anybody asks me what my opinion is of it, like what I think of it or what's going on with it, I'll give my take, but that's it. And I won't pick a side when it comes to that because I can't. You know what I mean? I just can't. I've always been that way though. I've
You
always look
really you really don't even need to give your take though, right? Like you're not obligated to. Like if someone asked me that, I don't know if I would publicly give my take
right,
necessarily.
right,
Not
right.
and this is like going to come across like I'm giving my take, but because I view Dave as kind of like a friend, we're not like close, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
value my conversations with Dave and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, same with me,
But like
100%.
in saying that, that's not saying that my take would like be against Dave either. I'm like, you
Oh yeah,
know,
no. Yeah, mine wouldn't be either. And it's not against Dave and it's not against Blossom. I just think that and my only take would be this, truthfully, that I hope that the both of them work it or can be happy and healthy and that they're both okay. That's
yeah,
it. That's
yep,
legit it. That's legitly my only take. Is that I hope that they are both okay and they both can find peace. And that's it. That's
yeah,
legit my take, you know? And it doesn't, and even if I wasn't as friendly as I am with Dave, or at least I think that I am as friendly as I am with Dave, I would probably still have the same take regardless, Because I don't know Blossom of Blossom very well. I just know what I've seen. And Dave obviously has been a very good person to me.
yeah,
Not just with sending me the Pokemon stuff, but he's came on my stream twice. He's came on
yeah,
my channel twice. And I appreciate him and I respect him in that regard. And he's always been very, very outstanding to me. And I wish him nothing but the best. And I hope that, this all will somewhat blow over. Who knows? But I hope that, they just find happiness and peace. And that's it.
yeah.
So,
All right. When new small creators find their way into this hellhole, they're often compared to other creators. Did you ever feel like you were compared to anyone? And if you were,
oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have been told that I have been compared to Xylee.
really,
Because,
really,
yes,
Tyler,
because of how I talk and because of certain things that I say and because of how I say certain things, I guess, is what I've been compared to, which I find really funny. I am not Xylee in any way, shape, or form.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know how to.
I don't know how that can be. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you're loud. That's it.
Maybe. I don't know. Or that there are certain faces or certain things that I say that sound just like her, I guess. I don't know. Which is really strange considering that, well, then again, I did watch her. You know what I mean? Again, like I said in the beginning, I've watched her even before I started making content. She's part of the reason why I'm even here because she gave me a shot,
Yeah,
and I was already a fan of hers to begin with. So that could maybe have something to do with it, and maybe some of her personality, if you will, kind of rubbed off on me a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But I've also been known to do that too in IRL. Like I take little bits and pieces of certain people that I watch or, that I'm close with that I take certain bits of their personality and I take it into mine a little bit.
yeah,
Um, or I use like certain phrases or something. I've always done that, just to be either just to be funny or just to, just depending on what the situation is. I've always done that. It's who I am and what I've always done. So I guess I kind of implied that a little bit to the commentary community in a certain degree. Like if I'm around Pizzle long enough, I probably will start talking like her. You know what I mean? Like if you're around it happens. If you're around certain people or you watch certain people long enough and you get to know them to a certain degree, some of their personality is going to rub off on you. You know what I mean? It's going to
yeah.
happen. or if I was around D-Max, I've been around D-Max quite a bit. Some of his personality has rubbed off on me. You know what I mean? It just, again, it happens. It's natural, but I've been compared to Tylee. I've been compared to Jessica Pizzle. I have been compared to Leia something to a certain degree. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, not that I take any offense to that at all. I just found
I
it really funny that someone compared me to Tylee.
You know what's weird? I compare a lot of people to other people, like unnaturally, like a lot, and I just
Yes.
did it. I
Yeah.
never did that with you. You,
Really?
yeah, you had your own like thing, like to me, like you came in with like your interviews. There were different kind of interviews. There were like honestly a lot longer, and like they're just done differently. And I thought you had your own little twist to them, right? Like
Oh.
a lot of people come in and they try and do like they try and copy other people. They try and like mimic other people and grow like they did, right? Like how many people would come in and try to do like a Nicholas Diorio style of video and like stuff like that. But like you have your own thing going, and I think it's like really good in its own like unique style.
Oh, well, that's very sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah. I will say that part of my inspiration with doing these types of conversation type interview type or arc, if you will, or content, came from a creator that I've watched before. Her name is Minxie1. She does a lot of, or not a lot of, but she has a segment on her channel where she does like what's called an empty cup, and that's where she does like a lot of different like conversations and stuff like that. So I kind of took that formula, if you will, and that template that she does, and then I took little bits and pieces of people that inspire me, not just within the community but just in general. Like a lot of my uh inspiration came from like different talk show hosts. One of them in particular was Craig Ferguson. um when he had his late night show back in the day before James Corden took over, he did a lot of like the more relaxed, informal interviews with like the different people that would come on the show, and that I've kind of applied that to mine. Um, in a sense that it's more, I want to get to know the person better and want to know more about them, whether or not, we are in the same community or whether we're outside of the community. It just depends, but I try to look at the person themselves.
But yeah,
And
that's kind of like it's kind of how it's actually the complete opposite of what Now Recording was doing, right? Like we would take like the Spurgs and talk to them,
mhm,
um, and then like in chat you would know all these people for like the dramas that they got into and like all that, and then you take the same people and then you like talk to them about everything else, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes the drama does come up. It just depends on what it's
Yeah,
about or what the if that person is, willing to talk about it. Like when we had Empress on, Empresses and Shanry, when we had both of them on at one point. Yes, the women recording drama did get brought up briefly, but not a whole lot because again, it's been done and over with, and
yeah,
it's old as it's old to a certain degree, but some people are still interested in it to, I guess, to a certain degree, I guess, because some of them have, all of them for the most part have made their peace with it and have moved on and done their own thing. But of course it's going to come up at some point, or if it wouldn't have came up, then you know what, that would have been fine too. But I was expecting for it to come up sometime or at least a brief mention of it, and that would have been it, and that would have been fine. The last thing that I ever want to do with a person that I'm talking with, not anything pertaining to the content or anything like that, no matter who it is. The last thing that I ever want to do is pry.
yeah,
I never want to pry because again, it's not my place. You know what I mean? Like if a person were to tell me, you know, really don't feel like talking about this kind of subject, can we kind of try to avoid it as best as possible? I'd be like, well, we can try, but can't promise anything. If it comes up, we'll see what happens. I've done that before. Um, and I've said that before, I've thought that before, but usually it doesn't. Like the women recording one with Empress barely got brought up. Shanri brought it up with her conversation, which was totally fine. I leave it to the person with what they are comfortable with and what they are willing to talk about, and just see how the conversation goes. And I think and I hope that that has been working, and that people can know that they can talk if to a certain degree, and that again, the last thing that I ever want to do is pry, because
Yeah.
that's just not in my nature to do anyway. I'm not. Yes, can I be a bit of a nosy Rosie? Do I want to know the latest scoop as to what's going on with that person? Yes, but only if they're willing. Because the
Okay.
last thing you ever want to do is pry.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the community fosters collaboration?
What do you mean?
Like, does it welcome collaboration? Like, does it?
Oh, uh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it just depends on who the people are, or what they're about. If people know who, like, um, for example, I don't know how you did this. How you got Pizzle, Leia, and Liana on a podcast. How you did that is beyond me. Um, seeing the three of them together is really cool, because of course we all know how Pizzle and Leia can be, and it's hilarious when the two of them go back and forth with each other. They fight like siblings, which is great. With that, yes, that I'm totally for, because again, they're making it into content, and they respect and they know each other to a certain degree, and it's hilarious when the both of them bicker, right? We all love it when they bicker, but I also love it when they get along too. They're both um in that sense. But I think that, again, it just depends on the person. Like with Megan and I collabing, I don't think that a lot of people saw that happening. I didn't expect for it to turn, like I said earlier, I didn't expect for it to turn into what it did, but it's been an amazing, amazing ride so far, and I hope that it continues. And, I hope that Maggot will agree. Um, or who else is, or me and Nerdy John collabing on what we're doing with the Nerd and the Huck. I hope that we're gonna get a good reception with it, and I think that that will be a lot of fun going forward. uh I again, I think it just depends on the people and what they're wanting to do, or what, I and I hate to say this, but it's true. Toxic, I hate to say this to you, and I know you're probably going to disagree with me, but gotta tell you,
Oh no.
now recording set the bar pretty high when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Eh.
In my in my personal opinion, and I'll tell you why. I've said this to you before, so you know this. I've said this to D-Max. I've said this to Mitch. I've said this to Beavers, and I said this to you. And the last person that I have is Core. Core, if you're listening, get with me. Anyway, um, how now recording is, and how you guys interact with each other, and how you guys make things work like that, that's what people, to a certain degree anyway, are kind of striving for, if you will, right? I know that they're not going to get there. I know that I'm not going to get there with Nerdy John or with Maggot or anything like that. Do I hope for that? Yes, of
Well,
course.
with that attitude, you're not. If you think you gotta like believe.
Yeah, I know, but do I? Are we going to have the same type of chemistry that you guys do? No, because you guys have a very unique chemistry, and you guys work really well off of each other. Megan and I work well of each other in a different way. Nerdy John and I work together off of each other in a different way, and we're all different people, and we all work together, depending on what it's about or what happens. But we all each have our different chemistry. But I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, I'm not kissing your butt. Maybe I am. But recording has set the bar in terms of like collabing on a
Yeah.
regular basis like that pretty high, because the six of you get along really, really well.
Yeah. I think this community compared to other communities is like a lot easier for collabs. I think a lot more like this one. Like I think everyone in the community really like just has collabs. Like look at first of all you right like especially for like everyone's size. Like, look at you, look at Now Recording, look at like Badwick, like all these people are like collabing
Mhm,
with everyone, right? And it's all just a
mhm.
circle. And like you don't really see that in other communities, and even like even with like larger creators in those communities, right? Like it's a very strange thing that's like happening.
Yeah. Well, I think that people are, yeah, Badwick is a great example too. Badwick collabing with all these different people and stuff like that's been very interesting. But Badwick is a creator that I think doesn't get a lot of like credit where credit is due.
Yeah,
Badwick is awesome. I think that he is a very great content creator, and I think that he has a very unique approach when it comes to collabing with different people and stuff. Like with with his show Wall Smashers. Who else could get? Who is it? Huggy, Lord Triton, and Why So Demented in the same flippin' show? No one. Badwick's the
yeah,
only one.
yeah, that's
Because you
insane.
know why? Because Badwick is very unique. And he has a way of being able to get people like that together and to make it safe. And I've told him that before. He has a very unique way of bringing those people together because he makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah,
And yeah, will he give his take no matter what? Absolutely. Like he's no holds bar when it comes to that. But he has a very unique way of making you feel like you can come on anytime that you want and you can talk to me anytime that you want. I will listen to you. That's kind of what I hope to have, and I hope that I have to a certain degree, is that I hope to have that kind of persona within the community, is that anybody that's willing to come on, they feel safe. And that they feel like that they can come back and, they can jump or they can be in the chats or they can go into waiting just depending on what we're doing. Like even if we're doing a chill stream, I want everyone to feels like that they can anyway to feel welcome on my channel because that's the kind of environment that I strive to have. And that I want people to feel comfortable when they're on my channel or when they're on my streams. That's how Badwick does it. And I think that he does a really good job of it too.
yeah, I do too. Personally, if like I was in charge of like, the Spurg Awards 100%, like I'm not, it's a team effort, right? Badwick would be my streamer of the year, right? Like he just like came out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and like his streams have this insane energy to them, and it's like,
Yeah, and he is able to maintain it as much as he does.
yeah,
Whew! It's like, how do you do that, dude? Like, I would go nuts.
I
I
compare them
would.
a lot. I don't know if you were around. I never saw you in there, but like in 2022, Shot from the Point, when it was like a paid server, it was really, really active in like the early months of 2022. And
Mhm.
like the VCs in there were, they really reminded me of like Badwick's Turd Island streams because they were just like that.
Mm. Mhm.
Like
Mm.
you can have good discussions in there, but you can also have like Turd Island in there.
Yeah. Well, I think you've told me that before, and I think Seth has said that before though too. Is that when I've heard that before that with the Shot from the Point server. And no, I wasn't really around Tommy's audience around in 2022. I really didn't start watching Tommy until like really fairly recently. Honestly, with like, I would watch him off and on and just hear his crazy takes on certain things. I love Tommy to death. I do. Now I wasn't really sure about him at first when I first started really watching him, but then I would see like the different interactions that he would have with like Dave and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's cool. And so I would just started watching him, and I actually called into one of his streams. It was a gaming stream that he did a couple weeks ago, and he was super super nice to me,
Yeah.
super nice to me, and I appreciate that. And it was super cool. Um, Now, have I ever called into like a Shot from the Point episode? No, I have not yet. Could I? Probably, but I have to be very prepared, and I know that I would have to be, which is fine. Um, but I've heard that before, that it was like absolute blood sports in there sometimes, and everybody would just go at each other and just go all full out. I've heard that before too, and sometimes it worked to the benefit, and sometimes it didn't. I've heard that, yeah. But I, do I want all out blood sports on my streams? No, but if it happens, it happens, I guess. Like with Xylee has been known to have that happen on her streams before too. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
how she did it either. I really don't. And I will say this though too. She's another one that when you go on her streams, you feel comfortable. I will say that too. I got to give her credit for that.
Yeah.
She's another one where if you go on her streams, her chill streams or whatever they are, you feel 100% at home. She may pick on you, she may give you trouble, but you know what? You're there to have fun, and that's what it's there for. And that's what I strive to have too. I strive to, and Peepaw does it too. Peepaw has the same dynamic, and I don't know when you guys are going to go live again, but when Now Recording used to do or when you guys did your streams a lot more, whenever I called in, I always felt welcome there too. Each of you have a different, unique way of being able to make the callers feel welcome and safe. Now, you may not agree with that, but I feel that way. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I think that depending on what the collaboration is or who the people are involved, I think that the community will accept them to a certain degree. Now, will they trash on them if it happens? Yeah, of course, but you just never know.
Yeah, that's fair. I just love this story. The first time I found Badwick, he was doing a hot tub stream, and he was in a hot tub, had puke in it that he
Oh
puked
no.
in, and
Oh
he was
no.
he was in the hot, and he accidentally showed his dick on that stream, and that was my first
Oh
impression.
yes.
That was my first impression of Badwick.
Fucking love that man. I'm telling you, he is the only one. I'm telling you, he is legitly the only one within the community that can get away with that. I'm telling you, he is. He
Yeah.
has
Well,
zero shame.
and
I
I won't
love
say
it.
who, and I won't say who, but I think Badwick is listening to this. Because I don't necessarily know if they want me to say who, but I've heard comparisons that he could be like, if he like set his mind to it, the next Augie, right? Like he could like,
Ooh.
if he wanted to, he could put himself in that spot.
Ooh. Yeah, he could. I mean, I don't know if he wants to do that. He very well may at this point. I mean, the way that his streams are and with how he does Turd Island, I wouldn't be. I keep telling him that he needs to stream on YouTube, but he won't do it.
Why not just co-stream? Like, why not just do both?
I've told him that he could do both. I don't know if
Yeah.
he will or not. He's heard that before, not just from me, but from other people too. Um, but I think that with Kick, I think that he feels more comfortable with it because he knows how Turd Island can work and how it can operate. So I think that part of him is afraid that something is going to happen on YouTube to where it could get taken down or something. I can't blame him for that necessarily, but at the same time, I think that with the way that he is and with him needing I think that he deserves all the attention. He deserves every single bit of credit. He's an amazing, amazing guy. I remember he didn't have to do this, but he did. There was one stream that I went on. It was it was the Leia something blood sports one. That was fun. Um, he messaged me the next morning and asked if I was okay. He did not have to do that, but he did. Didn't prompt him to do it. He did it himself, and it was very, very cool of him to do. And Maggot did ask if I was okay too. Of course, I'm not gonna negate what she did, uh, but he personally reached out to me too and asked if I was okay. He did
Yeah.
not have to do that. That was very sweet of him to do, and I thought that that was really cool of him to do because again, I'm still newish to this to a certain degree, but you know what? My training wheels are off and I'm up and running, baby. Let's go.
Nice. Uh, this as from speaking of Turd Island, like the community can get pretty loud, a lot of voices, some unnecessary, some valid, a lot of voices going around. Do you feel like
Mhm.
yours is heard where it needs to be heard?
Uh, yeah, yes and no. I think that with it again, it just depends on the topic at hand or who's talking and who's doing what. Again, those Turtle Islands go by so fucking fast. and most of the time that he does do the Turtle Islands, honestly, to be fair, I'm usually at bowling.
Nice.
So, or just finishing up bowling, so I miss a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ask, hey, what happened? What happened? Because that'd be, super stupid on my part, in my opinion. But no, I think that yes and no. And again, it just depends on like the topic at hand or what happens. But I think that when I do get a chance to actually talk or feel like I can actually talk, I think I do make a good point. Or if I don't, then I just don't say anything because I feel like I have nothing to say. But do I want my voice to be heard more when it comes to certain things or certain situations? Sure. I mean, I guess it just depends on what's going on. It's kind of, I don't feel like I'm being, in some regard, yeah, did I feel like I was being suppressed? Yeah, but at the same time it was also partially my doing. I was suppressing myself without realizing it until I thought about it more. Um, but do I feel like some other creators were suppressing me? I mean, not really. Most of it was just me. And not feeling like I can speak up. But now that I've gotten more comfortable in this community and starting to get more comfortable with certain people and certain creators, I feel a lot more comfortable with speaking up now.
Yeah.
More than what I did before. Um so I mean, again, it's a work in progress, but then again, I've always felt that way throughout my most of my adult life. I felt like I couldn't speak up or I couldn't say things. Now you can't get me to shut up. So there you go. Now I'm just like going off at the mouth any chance that I get. When
Nice.
before I was very meek and very quiet and didn't like to have my voice be heard. Now I want my voice heard, damn it. So yeah, there you go.
What do you view your role as in the community?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. If I were to if I were to pick one, I would probably say I am a person that people can go to when they need help, I hope, anyway. People that they can, or somebody that they can talk to. Somebody that they feel comfortable with, and somebody that they can laugh with or cry with or whatever the situation is. People that they can open up to me, and I will, whether it be public or private, I will respect their wishes, whatever it may be. Um, I don't know if I have a certain title though. I don't know if I would have a title or what it would be. Uh, but I'm just me. I'm just KHuck. That's all I got. I don't know what title I could possibly have. Um, I don't know. If I if somebody were to come up to me and tell me that I'm the mom of the community, I'd be like, hey, you're funny. Like there's other mothers in the community, not just me. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think that I necessarily really have a title. I think I'm just me and that's it. I'm just KHuck.
All right. If there were some people you could shout out that like helped you the most on your YouTube journey, who would they be?
Oh, 100% Peepaw,
Yeah.
D-Max, Xylee, Maggot now, Squatchin, oh god, there's been so many. Yeah, Squatchin was one of them. She was my first mod. She was one of my first mods that I made on my channel. Yeah. Spectre is one of them. He was my first really interview and one of the first few people that had my back 100% when it came to making content and stuff. Um, Leia something, I have to give credit where credit is due with Leia. Leia brought me onto her channel even before I started streaming and platformed me on her channel. I thank her for that immensely. Uh, Nerdy John for bringing me on as one of his co-hosts when I wasn't sure of it myself, and he made me feel comfortable with it. Um, D-Max for helping me out with everything that he has, and for being a friend, and being being the brony that he is. Love him to death. Um, there's so many different people that have helped me along the way that I can't name them all, but those are the ones that come to the top of my head. And I thank them all, and I appreciate every single one of them.
All right, final question. Who is your dream interview that feels currently out of reach?
Good question. As of now, if I were to name anybody, and the first person that popped in my head would be Tommy C.
He's not out of
Mm.
reach. We can make that happen.
Well, it right now. It kind of is.
Okay.
Because he doesn't really, to be fair, he doesn't really know me, and I can't say I blame him for that, which again is totally fair, and I don't negate him for that at all. But off the top of my head, it would be Tommy C. If I really wanted to reach a little bit further, I would say probably Boogie or Wings.
There you go.
I would love to talk to either one of those two. If I had the opportunity. Review Tech USA is another one. I would love to talk to him. Kristen Ark I haven't talked to yet. I would love to talk with him at some point. Oh, let's see who else. There's probably a few more that I could probably think of if I had more time, but those are the ones off the top of my head for sure.
All right. Well, KHuck, I think that's it.
Okay.
It was
Well,
a pretty good interview.
oh well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope that I didn't ramble on too much or anything. But are you seriously going to use the black people in the intro?
If you don't want me to, I won't. I
No,
think
it's
it's really
fine.
funny though.
If you want to, you can. That's fine. But
Okay,
I'm
cool.
probably going to get yelled at for it, and they're going to be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But when they actually see the interview, they're going to be like, "Oh, okay." So
Well,
so it'll all make sense. It's fine. But no,
right.
Taxi, thank you so much for having me and for letting me ramble if I rambled on. I appreciate it so much, and I'm really looking forward to talking with you more, hopefully, and also working with you at some point on Still Connected, sir.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this interview, and I got to ramble on things I didn't expect to ramble on. It was
Yeah, me
fun.
too. Yeah, me too. No, this was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much.
All right, and to people listening, if you wouldn't mind just throwing a little like on the video, and if you don't subscribe, then your
You're a
house,
loser.
yeah, that one. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. And yeah, thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.